I was going through the text machine during the break, and I stumbled across something I recorded just last night. Mrs. Friel put on the news. She's wanting to do that. I'm wanting her to not do that. It's something that we're working through after 28 years. But this story, I believe it was in, not Charleston, Charlottesville, perhaps? And I don't know the details, but somebody got shot. 6 people were wounded. More chaos. And I actually rewound the news story to grab the video that I'm about to play off of my cell phone into the microphone. This is Sheriff Kenny Boone, Florence County, South Carolina. See if you can hear. Joey, which one's the speaker on this? The one on the top, right?
Probably not.
What can go wrong with this?
Well, sure it would.
Look on the bottom right.
Well, I can play I can play the deal, but where does the sound come out of the doohickey?
That's what I'm saying. Is look on the bottom right underneath.
Tell me. I'll turn this up. You tell me if you can hear. Here we go.
His families of these officers, in your prayers, please lift them up.
Did you catch that?
Barely.
Please lift them up in your prayers. You don't get that kind of talk above the Mason-Dixon line. Let me share another one. This is Chief Alan Heidler, Florence Police. Let's see if this volume is a little better.
Of every human being who knows the Lord Jesus Christ to pray for these officers.
Wow. Did you catch that? Of every human being who knows the Lord Jesus Christ, pray for these officers. And he's got his head bowed. Both men very moved. Am I shocked that somebody in the Bible Belt would say that? No, I'm not. Am I shocked that somebody in a position of authority does? Yeah. Am I doubly shocked that the news would actually put it in there? Everybody who knows the Lord Jesus Christ, pray. That they chose to put that in. I get it. The Bible Belt, well, the buckle, it's a little flimsy. It's not like the Geico belt these days. It's kind of shriveled, shrunk, and a little dilapidated. But I got to tell you, you're feeling still in the South vestiges of Christianity. Look, if I had to choose the climate that I had to live in, I'll take this. As opposed to, we don't ever talk like that. We don't bow our heads in public. Basically like Minnesota is what I'm trying to say. You would never hear that. Ever. In Minnesota. And this happens regularly here. But I'm not so sure how long it's going to last. Let me take you back, if and you don't mind, to Great Britain. You?
Huh?
Look, I can't hear so goodly today. I've got the air conditioner on. Something went kafritz in the building, so I've got this little... Maybe you can hear it. Once again, you're listening to the highest quality Christian program on this station at this time. If you're hearing a dull roar, it's because I didn't have an IV and a salt lick to get through the program, so I had to turn on the AC, okay?
No saline drip?
Talk show hosts, if you cut them, they bleed too, Let's go to specifically Scotland from theweeflee.com. Theweeflee.com. Many people have observed that Europe is ahead, and when I say ahead, is actually behind America when it comes to where they're at in culture, morality, values. Because Europe as a whole, thanks in no small part to the Anglican Communion, has abandoned its Christian heritage. You are seeing results and consequences. Worldviews have those, and Europe is ahead in that regard to America. So, American, listen up. We should all be aware of this, and this should cause us, can we be concerned? Sure, if we're not anxious, faithlessly worrying. But I think this should cause us to get off the dime and get on it and start witnessing to people. I'm not a prophet. Sorry, Matt. Don't have that gift of any kind like that. Unless, of course, by prophet you mean proclaiming truth all for that type of prophecy. I can't predict the future, but it doesn't look good. What are we seeing in America with so much of what is going on? In the Brett Kavanaugh thing, innocent, guilty, whatever, it's chaos. I think the video that I mentioned just a few moments ago about a rape culture, okay, is there, isn't there? I'm not so sure, but I do know this. I do see that is what the debate that's going on campus with the word consent is the fruit of a secular human worldview. And it is thoroughly in place in the university system and has been for decades now. We used to have a word called consent. It was actually two words. I do. And that was giving consent. We can be intimate together. Well, because Title IX, among other things, radical feminism, among other things, and because there are some louts on campuses who do wicked things, the idea was, how do we get the kids to not cross the line? Well, what is the line? You have to give consent. And so if a guy gets a green light, he goes. He gets his second green light, he goes. He gets to the third light, and it turns red. He's guilty of sexual assault because he attempted to go to the red light because consent was not given. Now, do I think that needs to be dealt with? Yes. But do I think that we can come up with rules that are going to keep kids from sinning against one another? No, I don't. This is like everybody's talking about the drink culture because Brett Kavanaugh, did he drink a lot of beer? What happened on all of that stuff? There's a solution to these problems. It's called Christianity. Instead, what we're seeing is more legislation from university campuses, more Title IXs, more government programs, more definitions, more punishments for the wrong kind of behavior because there's no internal police mechanism. There is an external police mechanism. And we're going to see that more and more. And it'll just get messier and messier because you can't do that unless, of course, you become totalitarian, which I think will be the next step. The signs are everywhere of deteriorating cultures and animosity toward Christians who have the courage to speak up and go, no, From Scotland, I'm going to read a sign to you, and then you're going to guess who posted this sign. Dear Bigots. Oh, man.
That narrows it down.
By the way, this is intended to get rid of hate speech. Dear Bigots, you can't spread your religious hate here. End of sermon. Yours, Scotland. Hate crime. Report it to stop it. Here's another one. Dear transphobes, do you think it's right to harass people in the street, right to push transgender people around in clubs, right to humiliate, intimidate, and threaten them online? Well, we don't. That's why if we see you doing harm, we're reporting you. We believe people should be allowed to be themselves, except if they're spreading hate. Well, that's clear. You've got liberty, unless we don't agree with that action, then you don't. You've got freedom of speech, except on that issue, then you don't. Dear homophobes, we have a phobia of your behavior. If you torment people because of who they love, shout words that we're not going to write, or use violence because you don't like who someone is holding hands with, you should be worried. If we see or hear your abuse, we're calling the police. That's because love lives in this country, not hate. Bigot, transphobe. Yours, Scotland. Want to know who posted that? Take a guess.
Scotland?
Well, a little more specifically, a department of Scotland.
Tourism Ministry?
No, sir. Mm-mm.
Oh, that would have been better.
Loch Ness Monster Fan Club?
How's about the police? That's right. I'm looking at the Police of Scotland. I think the Better Business Bureau is in there and Safer Scotland. They're printing these up and warning you. Christian, zip it. What's next? I don't know. Let's ask some people in China who are experiencing Mao Zedong-like persecution. What's next for America? I like to think not, but there's no reason to believe not. Might I encourage you to get on it? Let me give you. We're here to help at Wretched. Not only are we a finely produced program, we're here to help. Go to wretched.org/tow. and get, say, 50 copies of Don't Stub Your Toe. It's bulk pricing. We made them as cheap as possible. And give away that gospel booklet for the kids who come to your door. Wretched.org/toe. Wretched.org/toe. And get as many copies as you can and give away I know it's scary. I get it. But this isn't even going out to distribute literature. This isn't going out even to evangelize. They're coming to you. Trick or treat or toes. Give them something good to eat and give them something that's even better for their souls. And might I add, whilst we are still allowed to, wretched.org/toe. Hurry so you can get them in time for Reformation Day. This is Wretched Radio.